we don't normally come as far as Garner State Park. It's 260 miles from home on a weekend, but since we managed to whittle together a 4-day weekend, we decided to. The first night was pretty uneventful. Not too many people there, a little cloudy, a little rainy. And the second night we were here, the ranger came by and knocked on the door, and they had told us when we checked in that the river had had a 3-foot rise a few days before. And he said, well, the weather forecast in about a half an hour, we're going to have locally damaging wind, rain, hail, and maybe up to a 70-mile-an-hour wind. So I went around and kind of battened down the hatches and put up my satellite dish, which I'd been having trouble with anyway. And we decided to sing a few bars of the song Come Up Tomorrow and slip the second season of Lost in the DVD, because you can't think about anything else when you watch shows like that. And we waited for the storm, and sure enough, it hit with a vengeance. And first the rain, and then the hail, pea-sized hail, and then bigger hail.
Golf ball.
Now, marble size, Jack's ball size. How's that?
Jack ball.
Jack ball size. There you go. About that big around hail, and it was hitting pretty hard. And at some point during that, the hail coming down, it broke the skylight vent over our bed in our travel trailer and started leaking water. We were wrapped up watching Lost, so we didn't really notice it, but started leaking water. And so we got some towels and pots and pans, and it's leaking on our bed, and so when it kind of let up, but it's still raining, it wasn't hailing anymore, I had to go out in the rain and get a few tools, because we had a big hole, about a jack ball size hole right in the center. But we had a small one on the side where water running off the roof was coming in and dripping down.
On top of our bed.
On top of our bed, so we had a container. So we wanted to try to minimize the leak. And all I had was a roll of black tape, black electrical tape. Now, I haven't done electrical work in about 20 years, so it wasn't even good electrical tape. But we managed to get the screen off and get it plugged up, and we got it minimized. So we ended up sleeping on this couch, which I won't go into that, and Claire sleeping on the dinette bed, which we never, they say this trailer sleeps 6. Don't believe it. 2 of us are fine sleeping on the bed, but nobody wants to sleep on that couch. Nobody wants to sleep on this dinette. First place, you have to be 5 foot nothing to sleep on the dinette because of the 2 ends. But one thing I had to consider, the next morning it was clear, but we still have a potential of weather, and we've got to get home tomorrow, and we kept thinking the sun would come up, though.
We sang that song.
We sang that song a time or two. And so I went down to the Garner State Park store. Now, there's several little stores here. The Friends of the Park have a store, and they sell souvenirs and things. The Pavilion has a store, and they sell artsy kind of things and more T-shirts. But the park store has one of everything. Everything except maybe a dome for your travel trailer. But I went in there and I said, I need, and first let me back up. There's 2 things that you should always have in your toolbox: WD-40 and duct tape. And I had neither one. I had some 3-in-1 oil. That doesn't really count. But, if it's supposed to move and it doesn't, you spray WD-40 on it. And if it moves and it's not supposed to, you tape it with duct tape. So I needed some duct tape because I needed the tape to go on the outside of the dome so that it wouldn't leak. And went down to the camp store is what I'll call it. And there was a teenage girl there, and I said, "Do you have any duct tape?" "Yes, we do." And we got some duct tape, and I looked around, and they had propane, they had flip-flops, they have little cans of mustard, which is another story. They have everything. They have board games. They have CSI board game. She goes, "Yes, that's for rainy days." They rent bicycles. They rent tubes. They rent barbecue pits. She told us a story that
they had gravy packets.
They had a package of gravy, which we didn't even find in town. She told us that if you rent a barbecue pit, she was telling a lady that was there, you have to put your credit card number, because if you don't bring it back, they're going to charge you $250 for the barbecue pit. She goes, "Now they're nice pits, fairly nice. They're not worth $250." But said, "You'd be surprised how many of them don't come back, and people buy a used barbecue pit for $250." So I got my duct tape, and this is my electrical tape that I used the night before. Held amazingly well. Got us through the night. Then I got my duct tape. Now, Claire asked me a while ago if this is going to stay on when we were pulling home, and I said, well, you know, duct tape's called duct tape, but it's also called 100-mile-an-hour tape. It will stay on there.
Because I thought it might fly. That thing might fly off the roof.
It stays on there a couple of sunny days, and it won't come off till it rots off. But we'll have to change it out. But we got it all. I had to take it down, and I didn't have a ladder to get on the roof because it's way up there, and I had to take it down, turn it upside down, tape it up, put it down. I have it all tied down, secured down with tie wraps, which I did have. I have a lot of tools that were all up there, tie wraps. But the moral of the story is, the sun will come up tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be no more rain tomorrow.